Let's go.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the 48th episode of the Control Freak podcast. I am your host, Alex Blackard, or at Less Alex on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. So check me out on all of those places. I am joined tonight by Jake Stellick again.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up? Indeed. How's everyone doing? We are recording this and streaming this live on Twitch. So if you hear us interacting with the viewers, that would be why. So big shout out to the podcast sponsor, Iggy's Pop Shop. You can use the coupon code LessAlex at iggyspopshop.com to save 10% at checkout. I know a lot of people enjoy this set. There are a lot of new sets out. I mean, they just make a lot of products now. So make sure to check that out. Hey, Big Green Creatures, thanks for that Tier 1 6-month resub. I do appreciate that. And a big shout out to my patrons over at patreon.com. We had a new one, Quinn W. Appreciate you for becoming the newest Patreon member. And shout out to Ryan C., who upped his Patreon level from $5 to $10. I do appreciate that. Thank you. And if you are interested in helping support the content, I know that times right now are, a little sketchy right now with COVID and everything, but I do appreciate it. And I thank you all for your support. But yeah, let's get into this episode. We've got something that has been an institution since basically day one.
This came out of left field for
oh my goodness.
It got talked about today. I was like, wait, what?
I get it. Okay, so what we're talking about, if you didn't know and you're not watching on YouTube or on Twitch, there was an article today released on magic.gg called Sunsetting Planeswalker Points. And basically in this article, they lay out the fact that there's basically no need for Planeswalker points and, more importantly, for DCI numbers. Everybody that has ever played a paper match of Magic the Gathering, a sanctioned paper match, has a DCI number, whether you know it or not. But yeah, it's gone. That is no longer. It's like until May 27th, you can go log into your Wizards account and you can check it out and take screenshots and do all that stuff. But in this article, they have a lot of Q&A about the future of what it will become and if you can download it and all this stuff. And yeah, basically they're saying there's no way to download it, and pretty much saying kind of like, well, you should take screenshots or write it down.
It's gone. Once we get rid of it, it literally won't exist anymore except for your physical card, but the number will mean nothing.
Absolutely. And Big Green Creature says, I hope it's a phone app like Keyforge. They have previously stated before they announced this that an app was coming. It is in beta, I believe, for only Android phones right now. So I believe that even before this announcement that they were going to make it to where large-scale events, you could just look at your phone for pairings. Because honestly, and don't get me wrong, the fact that the numbers are going away is, for nostalgia purposes, it's a dagger. It is a definitely.
But I mean, someone's DCI number is kind of like their personality at Magic events.
Oh yeah. I definitely understand, but
for me, it's not that big of a deal because I don't really care about my Planeswalker points. I'm never going to use them for anything, and the only thing I've used a DCI for is to get into events. But for some people, there's a lot of history of the DCI number, and it means it's like a sentimental value.
Oh yeah, and more so than anything, I think the sentimental part of it for a lot of players is really what is the biggest dagger. But yeah, they're gonna have it. They're gonna have it on an app, and which is gonna be awesome for like Grand Prix whenever we get back to GPs, and for SCGs obviously, and even like PTQs and stuff. That'll be great.
If anything, this means we might be getting rid of a Wizards event recorder, which can only be a good thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you've ever experienced Wizards Event Reporter, it is the most garbage piece of software on the planet. I mean, they haven't really made any substantial updates since like the early 2000s. It is, yeah, and Big Green Creature is definitely
he gets it.
yeah,
he
definitely
knows.
in
I
the
know he
chat
knows.
talking about it is not good. It is not good. I worked and managed an LGS. I have worked previously at LGSs, and every time I've used it, there's almost, basically, if you've ever given crap to a worker or somebody that works at an LGS for like getting the pairings wrong, trust me, it was probably not their fault.
It's just such a bad program. It is
It is really bad.
And the way it does its algorithms and the way that like you're recording data, you really can't change things like mid-match and like because stuff happens and it's very unuser friendly.
Well, it's very unuser friendly, and it's almost like it's very hard to go back and change things if something was misreported or whatever. It's just a very long process. But one thing I will say, a positive, a silver lining to this app, the app is going to be great, I think. I hope, like the Keyforge app, like Big Green Creatures in chat says, the Keyforge app, the way that they run their tournaments is amazing. I really do hope that Wizards takes a page out of that book, because that app is amazing to work with. The software is super easy. You just have a QR code, you hold it up to a camera at the desk of whatever LGS or wherever you are, and bing, you're in. And that's how quick it is.
Wizards are pretty good at playing the copycat card. They're pretty good at it. Like Arena's pretty good copycat Hearthstone. I think Wizards can copy this one.
Oh yeah, I hope it'll be as easy and as seamless as that one is. But yeah, I mean, the DCI number until May. So, if you're listening to this, and this is Jo is in chat, one of my regular watchers here, and he apparently did not know of this. And if this is the first time of you hearing about this, go and you care about it, go to your Planeswalker points and take some screenshots or record them however you want, because as of the 27th, they're gone. They're just there, and there will be no way to look at it ever again. So yeah, I mean, that's that. Silver lining, I think that overall this is going to make tournaments go smoother. I think if they implement a way to determine who chooses play draw in the new app, will be great, instead of wasting time rolling dice or having to worry about somebody getting scummed.
Yeah, it also probably means there's a future for like just arena tournaments. Where you play from your house. I mean, there's the possibilities are endless for it. Mm-hmm. It just sucks that they have to kill one system to make the new one. I think it's just the cut and dry of it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Again, I personally I won't be too affected. I mean, yeah, it's cool to go back and see me crushing Evren every single time we played in a sanctioned match or whatever. And it's cool to go back and look at my one SCG top 8 and see who I beat and just the nostalgia. But I've got those memories.
Exactly. The memories are what really matters. The paper doesn't mean as much.
Yeah. I assume they're gonna make new profiles. I think you already have profiles if you have a
Wizards account.
Yeah, if you have either Wizards account or if you've signed up through the Arena.
I think a Wizards account is now a Arena account, because I remember there was a weird thing where you had to merge them, or because I remember I needed tech support before this happened or something, for when I had to get a pack resent to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
When I was going through my Modern Masters 3 kick, and I didn't pull a foil out of one of the 40 packs I bought that day.
Or what about the time that you pulled that foil Force Negation? Did you have to use anything with your Wizards account with that, or?
You mean the foil Force Negation? So I
was damaged.
Yeah, I had to use. So you have to make a Wizards account. Mm-hmm. Then you have to make a Wizards customer service account.
Oh my god!
Which is different from your Wizards account.
Obviously, why would it not be?
Same thing, of course. Well, but so who knows? If you didn't know the story behind the foil Force Negation, I was having a crummy day at work. I bought one of those blister packs at Walmart of Modern Horizons, and I pulled foil Ren and 6, foil Force Negation, and then I think a Hogak. But the Hogak was like 2 weeks after it got banned, so I was like, I mean, I casually pulled $400 in cards, but
Yeah, man, that was crazy. You're the master at ripping hot fire out
yeah,
of
is what
boosters.
I'm
That's
good
for
at.
sure. So yeah, DCI kaput. Again, please, if just go and take a look at your DCI if you know that information. Log in there, take a couple screenshots because I'm sure a lot of people are gonna want to look back and really dig into like some memories. And I think just seeing it will spark memories too. You know. All going to talk about Luris and Maester's Bauble?
Oh,
Yes, we
we're
are.
gonna talk
We're
about
working into
the
that.
horrendous of things that Ikoria is doing to
So
Magic.
the next thing that we're going to talk about, I always like to dig into the challenges each week, especially right now because those are pretty much the biggest tournaments happening. I know that Nerd Rage has some online stuff, and there's thankfully remote FNMs, which are awesome. But yeah, let's dig in to this vintage challenge. And the reason, obviously, we are never talking about vintage on this podcast, but there is one card of note. We'll take a look. This is Snapcaster, Black Lotus. I don't even, I don't play vintage.
There is a singular creature with vintage. Vintage is like, just let's play a bunch of 1-ups and lands of just broken cards.
Yeah. This just looks like a deck with very, very, very good cards to me.
Oh, yeah.
And in the sideboard, we have one copy of Luris of the Dream Den. I mean, I feel like a broken record at this point because, let's see.
The cards.
Oh, my God. Second place. Same
Luris.
thing. Oh, and the second place has 11 creatures to abuse. Talking about Jace Vryn's Prodigy, Deathrite Shaman, Dark Confidant, Snapcaster Mage.
I think in every single
Luris.
one of these.
Oh my God! Even Shops is playing it now.
You up until 6th place. Every top 5 has a Luris, up until 6th until you hit a Lutri. There's a Lutri like spells deck, which is probably just worse than Luris because Luris is insane. It's Lutri is like pay 5 mana to Time Walk, where Lutri is like 5 mana Time Walk.
Yeah.
Lutri is Snapcaster, replay Time Walk, Snapcaster, replay Ancestral Recall, Snapcaster.
It's nuts, yeah. So companions gonna be the focal point of this episode yet again. I'm sorry, until they're not relevant in competitive play, I'm gonna keep talking about them and keep banging the drum.
The most messed up part is you don't ban cards in Vintage, you just restrict them to one copy, and that's the only copy they play. So restricting it does literally nothing. It's actually they played themselves on that. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah, oh my God, that's so true. I didn't even think about that.
It's messed up. It's so messed up.
Standard Challenge. Standard Challenge was one that I was actually very surprised of. I thought that we were going to see just a bunch of Luris decks, like the red-black sacrifice deck. And, well, we have a sacrifice deck, but it doesn't play Luris. It's Jund Sacrifice, one Vraska. We're talking about Cauldron Familiar, which is a Trail of Crumbs. You know these cards. You love these cards, or probably at this point hate them. Heartless Act, of course. This card is excellent. I definitely think it's still just going to keep crushing standard tournaments.
Heartless Act is a very good removal spell.
Oh, yeah. 2 mana, better than Doomblade usually.
Even when it's like not as good as Doomblade, it is something that Doomblade can't do.
Yeah.
And that's another mode.
Oh, yeah. Korvold, Fake Curse, King, excellent one.
Does Mayhem Devil say whenever anyone sacrifices something?
Yeah, a player.
So, yeah, it beats out the other sacrifice decks that don't play Mayhem Devil.
Yeah. Which I think most are. I guess is Mono Black even a thing anymore?
Mostly sacrifice decks have cut the big stuff and are just playing Luris. It's like a red, black, white, or it's like red, black, Mardu, or white, black, sacrifice deck.
Gotcha.
Where you just play Luris and they're cutting. And I think the Mayhem Devil is a good counterplay because they take 2 for their sacrificing the cat.
Yeah. So yeah, John Sacrifice. That was Venom1 was the user who won it, took it down. In second place, we had a deck that I'm actually pretty stoked about because it isn't a Luris deck, which is mono blue, basically mono blue flash, playing Stone Cold Serpent, the Octopus, Hypnotic Sprite, Brineborn Cutthroat. This deck's very pretty much.
I'm very surprised on Sea Dasher Octopus. I've played like Sultai Flash, and every time I played Sea Dasher Octopus, it's just gotten stomped. Whatever I put on just died. So I'm actually kind of surprised to see a deck that's based off something like that this high up.
Yeah, I mean it was in top 8. I think there were several copies last week in top 8. So Sea Dasher Octopus definitely maybe a
little.
It's
a very powerful card. I like it. I think what really stands out here is just the amount of counterspells. Like it is
Quench,
playing
Neutralize, Dispute, Essence Scatter, and Aether Gust.
It's playing 15 theoretical. I mean, Aether Gust theoretical counterspells. It's playing 15 counterspells and 3 ops.
Yeah. This deck is sweet. It's a tempo-based deck. I like it. If of all these kind of decks, I definitely dig this one.
It is the Control Freak approved.
Yeah. All right. We do have in third place, Thatted. I just love the names on Moto. This is a Yorion deck, so this is a companion deck. Yorion is, of course, the one where you have to play 80 cards, basically, in your main deck. So this deck's playing Narsets, Tamios, Teferi, Time Ravelers, Agent of Treachery, Dream Trawler, and Euro. So this is seemingly the closest thing to a control deck that I can see.
I played this against this a few times today, and they had 2 Omens of the Sea, and Elspeth Conquers Death, and like 2 Asia Treacheries, and they played Euron, and I was just like, oh no, and then just immediately lost. I am a big fan. I think Agent of Treachery should have been banned a while ago. I don't like that card. I think it's unhealthy in Standard.
It's very powerful.
Like, you can say it's a 7 mana like play, but it's a 7 mana win condition that just is completely anti-fun. And I get it, but a lot of times decks are cheating it out. Like the the Winota, I think it's Winota decks. They just cheat it out like turn 4, and it feels so bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My daughter's yelling at me.
Parker's getting mad.
She hears Abby coming, and she's not happy. Oh my goodness. So in fourth place, we have Ninja Kyle. Sure.
Strictly worse than most Kyles. Or strictly better than some Kyles.
We have Ninja Kyle here. Is this? No, this is a.
This is Jeskai Fires. It's a Karuga.
Yeah.
Karuga,
I think is the pronunciation.
I think right now this is like 21% of the metagame, something like that. It's very big. This deck is it didn't change that much.
Fires was already like good, and adding.
If you were going to the standard format and you have cards from the previous one, this is probably the easiest deck to go over because you're changing, like, you're getting a few lands which are just the best lands you could ever play in standard right now, and Karuga, which makes all of the it just draws you more cards, which is what Fires wants to do.
Oh yeah. Obviously Narset of the Ancient Way showing up here, but I mean this deck is just the best, right? I would assume it's probably one of the top tier decks.
I think Kenrith is extraordinarily powerful. I think I'm never too keen on Sphinx of Foresight, but oh, poor Parker.
She'll be okay. She's just got to go upstairs. Here, keep going.
You're good. Let's go to the 5th place deck. It is it's another Euron deck. Another Trino with Agent of Treachery Euros. Um, hate this deck. We are talking about sixth place is a just it's this is the one is this the Winota deck?
Yeah, with
Yeah,
Luca.
this is Winota. So Winota was like the mythic that I saw within the set. I was like, it's cool, but I just don't feel like it's gonna do anything.
You brought it up.
I did. I remember talking about it, and I thought it like I couldn't see play, and now after seeing the decks that do play it, I think it's extraordinarily powerful. It whiffs a lot of the time. 4 cards is just not that many, and I like, especially when you're playing. It's the same concept as Company. It even sees less cards in Coco, where you probably want to be hitting above that 24 creature mark, and you can't even like the non-creatures you're hitting off. This is Bone Crusher, Brazen Borrower, and Fibblethep, where I've seen most decks running Legion Warboss to try to get those extra creatures because it's a free non-creature or non-human that attacks.
Yeah,
and I think cutting the Luca is probably the best move because it's the same concept as Company, but you're even seeing 2 less cards where you want to make sure you always hit, because if you whiff, then they can respond and just wipe the board. And that's it. I've been playing like a bunch of dumb early mid-range decks like I always do, and Winota, if they whiff on Winota, then it's a very hard it's hard to recover from that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Winota, though, was one of the cards that you said.
6. It is 6? That was 4. Oh, it's the same as Company. So
it's pretty powerful.
It's almost like Coco on a creature.
Yeah, no, it's very...
For any one thing.
Yeah, but that was one of the cards that in the preview or the spoiler episode that we did together, that was one of the ones you were wanting to play.
I thought of a different shell that played more Tajiks than Aurelia's, but this is a deck. I think this is here to stay.
It's crazy to me how many Agent of Treacheries I'm seeing in these lists because,
like I said, it's a very powerful card, and I feel like it should be banned. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's a fun win condition. Most of the time, any control magic effects either are there's no middle ground on them. They're either super powerful or bad,
completely unplayable. Yeah,
there's
Kefnet's what the Kefnet's last word.
Kefnet's final word.
It's garbage.
Word. That was a bad one. The In-Bolus Clutches was a bad one. The blue one, the Entrancing Melody, I think that one's pretty powerful, but still didn't really see that much play. When you're playing Age of Treachery, I'm trying to think of put this. It's because I feel like there's just no better win conditions, and you're trying to do something unfair. Like there's something unfair if you can justify running 4 Agents of Treachery.
Yeah. No, I mean I agree. Fires. We're all about the fires in this format.
Completely right. It's 100% because it's a creature.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can bounce it and do shenanigans. And then in 9th place, there's this really neat. It says Teamer Reclamation, basically, with Sharknado. I'm a fan. That's pretty sweet.
Sharknado is like the meme card no one took seriously, and it's actually doing
insane. Yeah,
pretty good. It at the worst. I mean, honestly, you're never even playing the card. You're just saying, I'm tapping 8 mana, making a 6/6 shark, and drawing a card, which is fine. I think it's a uncounterable. You can't counter it. Very few decks are playing the counter target activated ability, so I think it's here to stay, and I think it's a very, very powerful effect.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Kind of shifting gears over to Pioneer. Caleb Shearer won it. Caleb Shearer,
I like him.
The Storm aficionado, who is originally from St. Louis, so go Caleb. He won it with as you might guess, the Storm, quote unquote, Storm deck of Pioneer. Big thing to note is there is no companions in this deck, which I'm a fan of. Of course, Arboreal Grazer, Fey Wishes, Underworld Breach.
What's that? I'm not even sure where you would put one.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying it brings a smile to my face that there isn't one. We got Vizier. Obviously, you're just wanting to untap your Lotus Field over and over again, and then Breach to continue the cycle, and then you go and get Tome Scour, and then you Jace Wielder of Mysteries yourself for the win. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but
yeah.
So shout out to Caleb. Good job, CWS on Moto. So, I mean, he streams. I don't know if he streamed this event. That'd be kind of weird. I guess he could do it with a little bit of a delay or something, but kind of always sketchy whenever very popular, streamers and content creators stream big money events like this. Not that this is a huge event, but still, you want to be able to keep your like $20 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So shout out to Caleb. And then in second, we have Luris Burn.
Luris Burn.
Luris
it's
Burn.
It's like we're just going to take a card out of the sideboard so we can play over our burn creatures. Like Vishino Pyromancer seems really good with Luris.
Mm-hmm. And, we got Eidolon, Get Through Lava Runner, Soulscar Mage, Vishino Pyromancer, which I was a big fan of in Standard, but...
It's a very powerful creature.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shock on a creature that's a 2/1. Like, how is that?
Yeah, I mean,
bad.
Solid. And then in third place, we have this very interesting Bant kind of control, but it is a Yorion deck, so we're playing just
like Bant Ramp, I think.
Yeah, we got things like Nissa Vastwood Seer, Euro, Detention
the crazy
Sphere.
thing about Yorion is most of the time you're actually using it to blink enchantments. Like a lot of these Yorion decks are in like just getting the value off the recent very good printing of enchantments.
Yeah. Bouncing Elspeth Conquer's Death is insane. I can only imagine like just mowing down all their. I mean, how many could they have? 2 or 3 probably, but you get to do that all in one turn with Yorion. So pretty decent. In fourth place, we have another version of the Underworld Breach combo, Hidden Strings deck. So it's proven to be a good option right now, I think, here in Pioneer.
In fifth place is the Inverter deck.
Good old-fashioned Inverter.
Very surprising. Like it's not tier 1 on the list. I don't know how many got it. I don't know how many. Sixth place is also Inverter, and 8th place. So there's 3 Inverter decks in the top 8, but I didn't win the tournament.
And Burn was 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this. What do you think the state of Pioneer right now?
Dude, it's like weird, right? Because there's Burn, which is typically like a pretty fair deck, which is fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, Inverter was the big baddie before Luris and before the companions were printed. It's I don't know, man.
It's a combo format.
So here's another like red-green deck, which had a good showing last week as well. Just the Klothos.
Crater's Claws.
Yeah.
It's playing Crater's Claws. Oh, I love that card.
Yeah, and then Big Green Creature says, haven't heard of any control decks in top lists. In control deck is control in bad spot across all formats. I definitely think so. Last week, I think what was it? Standard? I think it was a standard challenge. Blue-white won. Like actually won the tournament, I believe. I could be mistaken. Go back and listen to the last episode. But I know it won one of them, and I think it was standard. So, I think it varies from week to week.
I'm very surprised about the amount of combo in Pioneer, and it's been recent card printings. It's not been like something that has like it's all been recent cards. Like the cycle deck wasn't actually a real deck until Underworld Breach got printed.
Oh yeah,
Dimir Inverter wasn't a actual combo deck until Thassa's Oracle got printed.
Mm-hmm.
Like these combo decks are just coming from pushed standard cards, which I'm fine having combo in a format, but I think there needs to the answer to being combo should not be you have to be faster than them. That just doesn't feel like a healthy format. I think that they need to print better answers.
Yeah, Jo says I don't know why they thought printing a better Yawgmoth will was a good idea.
I think they thought about it at the I I'm fine with Wizards pushing power level on cards. Like I think that's a good thing, and I think new innovative design spaces. But you can tell from a lot of these standard printings that they're only really focusing on standard, like because
for
that's
sure. And it's not even standard. They're only focusing on making Arena more interesting in their eye, like quote unquote more interesting in their eyes.
And I get it.
It's so frustrating.
But don't make a format like Pioneer and then like give it like they coddled it and they double checked everything before it was a format. And they like watched over it. Now it's just like
dotted their I's, crossed.
Hey, did you guys see this Ikoria set? It's really cool. We have this sweet new command called Mutate. No one knows how it works, and there's these dumb sideboard cards that are like commanders. But what was that Pioneer thing we're talking about? Oh, I don't remember. Hey, have you checked out Companion yet?
Oh, and Companion is literally the only tournament playable mechanic in the entire set, other than like cycling and like. The Octopus has Mutate, I guess, but like whatever.
Like. The only mutate cards are Octopus, the Teamer, the Teamer one I've seen a couple times, and that's it. Literally nothing. Nothing. See, it's like there's no room because Luris is just faster than all the dumb, dirtily mutate decks.
Oh yeah,
I don't like it. I'm not happy.
Switching gears over to Modern, the Modern Challenge was won by Oliver Hart, with basically. What is this? Grixis Death Shadow, I guess. Yeah.
Shadow playing Kroxa.
Shadow playing Kroxa, but in the sideboard, Shadow playing Luris. Apparently comes up as a
that's
blank
so
card
gross.
Nowadays. Yeah, and this is actually one that oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Anyways, a very prominent Shadow player was talking about in one of my group chats, and it's real. This might be the deck. This might be the deck now because
it has answers for everything. I mean, I think Kroxa like Luris pushes it so hard because now you just can't deal with the Death Shadow.
You cannot get rid of it.
Before it was like, are they gonna like claim to fame it? Like that was no, I never worried about like a Shadow being claimed to fame.
Yeah.
Like, now they have an answer to always replay Shadow. And that's scary. It doesn't even play big like Angler anymore. Like screw Angler, we're just gonna play the
Kroxa now.
Like the strictly better Big Fish. Like it's a 5-mana. It's just mean. I'm worried about. I think Luris is a unhealthy Magic card. But let's keep going on.
You're good. Mishra's Bauble, yeah, big green creatures. I said this last week, but Mishra's Bauble is insanely priced on Moto now. It's 55 tickets.
What's it in paper?
I think it's like 12 or so. I actually checked it this morning because I wanted to see because I have a a couple.
You
got a couple foils, don't you? Yeah,
I do.
I think
like
25 bucks. $25.
35,
Oh
40, 35-ish. I remember when they jumped to like 60 for a little bit. It was a weird time.
So second place, looking like more hardened scales, which was the same as last week.
That's surprising.
Luris definitely helping out this deck as well.
The
Ozoleth. Remember, I don't know if it was you or Evan on the episode that we talked about the Ozoleth, but I was like, yeah, hardened scales, and he's like, yeah, maybe. But here it is, back-to-back weeks, top 8ing the challenge. So
I can definitely see how the Death Shadow deck had a favorable matchup here. I mean, K Command just dominates this deck.
Kill your guy, kill your thing. Yeah. So second place was KBR3. Shout out to them. In third place, Cohort with Burn, good old Burn with.
What's that? What's that in the sideboard?
That is a companion Luris. So,
how many? When this set comes out in paper, how many times do you think people are going to get a judge call them because they do not announce their companion prior to the game starting?
I mean, companion is just miserable.
Like you have to remember, you have to announce it. You have to say.
My biggest gripe with all of these mechanics for paper Magic is just garbage. You have to announce, hey, I have this thing in my deck. And then the mutate is just not good in paper either. Because you're like, logistically, you have to like keep counters of like, oh, it has trample, it has vigilance, whatever, blah, yada, yada. But like, you know, I'm just thinking of like FNM. Somebody like sneezes wrong and everything goes everywhere. And you're like, oh, wait, what kind of counters did this card have? But yeah, Grixis Delver in 4th place. Gerardo 94.
Oh, wow.
Gerardo 94. Grixis Delver. Sprite Dragon and Delver of Secrets.
But what's that on the sideboard?
That is Aluris.
I'm going to remind you every time. Just to say. And in 5th place,
don't
like
sneeze.
We have a...
sneezing is banned at LGSs nowadays. like moving forward.
What's not? Don't say that. Don't sneeze. Oh God. That's
so
scary.
In 5th place, Joe True taking it down with what is this? Niv Mizzet? Yeah, this is Niv Mizzet, 5-color Niv, and in the sideboard
with
Jathenga, which is a hell.
So this is surprising that these decks are doing this really well because they have to cut what do you call it, the Supreme Verdict, because you can't play Supreme Verdict with a Jathenga. I'm surprised by that, but
you get a free card in your hand though.
That is true. You have a free card that says you can cast Niv.
Who thought that like, oh yeah, I have to lose a sideboard card to have 8 cards in my opening hand was like
a bad
remotely like there's no downside. Anyway,
6th place.
Andrea 94 with Burn.
With playing Baubles.
Mishra's Bauble there with Luris right there as their companion in the board. 7th place.
Oh no.
We've got
I didn't even think about this.
Yeah, this is insane. This is Vizier of Remedies combo with Mishra's Bauble and Luris. How do you beat this deck?
What do you think, Bigger Creatures? How do you beat this deck?
Path. I thought that's the only way you can really. Maybe they made actual mana instead of hybrid mana. Yeah, that would have definitely helped somewhat. But the core problem with them is it's a free card. Yeah. No, that's true.
Like, what if Luris was a mono white card?
I think Big Green Creatures is saying like if it was so if you're not watching on YouTube, we had somebody in chat say maybe if they made them multicolored, like actually instead of hybrid, so like white, if Luris was white black one, then you'd have to play white and you'd have to play black rather than just having it be essentially free. Yeah. I mean, that would definitely help a little bit, but I think. Mana is so, especially in Modern, mana is so good they can get around it. Like
Modern's not the worry. Like if you're gonna run a clunky dumb mana base, then you're gonna run a clunky dumb mana base.
That's basically every Modern deck. And then in 8th place here we have Saka 93 with, Primeval Titan deck. This is not a Luris deck, so
this is an Obosh deck.
Yeah, it's Obosh.
Which Obosh is like the one in the middle, which is like I don't really like a lot of there are a lot of really really good 4-drops.
Obosh isn't in this deck,
but in the I'm looking at 9th place. Sorry,
8th. Yeah, this is just good old fashioned prime time. I'm gonna beat you with lands, and Field of the Dead is also a busted card. Whew, a lot of good cards have come out in the last like 2 years. But yeah, Obosh is the next one, which is Seasoned Pyromancer, Hex Drinker, Green Red, Bolt You Down, Utopia Sprawl.
Bolt does 6 damage. I didn't even think about that. That's gross.
Pretty decent, eh?
Wait. If I play Obosh and I play Savage Knuckleblade, I pump it. It hits him for 12.
It's actually pretty insane.
I'm gonna build this deck for Modern with Knuckleblade in it somewhere.
And then going down, I'm trying to just look at this point for control decks. I don't think. Well, here's Sebastian.
Ataxis. Oh, go back to 11th. Go to 11th.
11th. Let's see it. So yeah,
There's a Texas list.
Playing Luris.
No. I want my Flicker Wisps.
So Dauntless Body. Yeah, I mean, this is just Texas, basically.
This is like white weenie Texas.
Dead weight. Oh, that's pretty...
A lot of Luris decks are playing like dumb, weird enchantments. Because they kill things and just bring it back.
Makes sense.
This makes me sad.
And then, so 12th place, we do have a control deck. This is like the only control deck that I've seen. Oh, it was Modern. Modern last week won the Modern Challenge. It was this deck, or, Bant Control with Jaces, Teferis, Ice Fang Quaddles, you name it. Yorion the Sky Nomad, because...
Oh, you can flicker the Snow Snake.
You can flicker the Snow Snake. You can flicker Snapcaster, Euro, reset Planeswalkers, reset Omen in the Seas, Abundant Growth. Sure, why not? It's all here.
I don't know if you want to flicker Uro, because then it just kills itself. Like, it just dies.
That's fine. You get to draw 3 life, or draw 3 life. Gain 3 life, draw a card. Seems decent.
True. That's gross.
And then here's a sweet one. Here's a sweet
14.
one right here. Adnaz.
I think this deck was almost about ready to come back into like top tierness, and then Ikoria started coming out. Like, I think Adnos was almost there. It was just like, I mean, do they get anything? I don't think they can run any of the companions.
I mean, this deck was so the deck we're talking about is Adnaz, but the big kick in the pants that it got was Thassa's Oracle. Obviously, just makes the combo like way more streamlined. Because you just do the thing on the spot, and there's really no...
Oh, yeah.
there's no interacting with it.
15th. And 15th place is Jund. It's the new Jund that plays Luris.
Luris.
So you have Jund who said, we don't need any of the 3 drop, 4 drops, even 5 drops, and we're just going to play Luris because it lets you play... It lets you always bring your stuff back. If you're playing Modern right now...
Think about whenever Jund was, like, insane, right? Like,
oh yeah,
a couple of months ago, like it was like pretty good. Probably closer to a year now. Time is a weird thing, especially with COVID and everything. But so when Jund was like super good, could you imagine them not playing Liliana of the Veil?
No, I still can't. I still cannot think of Jund.
We just Rin and 6 and Luris.
It's almost disgusting. Like. Yeah. That you are having decks completely change the entire nature of how they've almost always been just to play this stupid 3/2 cat. I hate Luris. I think it's the most toxic card that is imprinted. Like, I think I think it's worse than Oko. Because the worst part, like the thing about Oko is Oko doesn't fit in every single deck. Luris can fit in almost everything. And Oko didn't like, I guess it almost kind of warped decks around it, but Luris is literally warping formats around it.
I mean, Oko did too, but I see what you're saying. You can probably fit Luris into more decks.
Yes.
So 17th place, I mean, this is kind of off the beaten path. This is like, but this is a pretty interesting take on...
That's very true, Big Green. You don't always have Oko in your opening hand.
That's fair. That's the thing. It's like it's a free card. Wizards, what are we doing here? We got to fix this game. We got to fix it because, oh my god,
ban it before people start playing paper again,
please. Or change. Somebody suggested on Twitter. I forget who it was. I think it was like somebody pretty important, not like pretty important, like a big grinder or whatever. That said, what if when you announce, okay, I have a companion, you only draw 6 cards.
Well,
still very good because you know that one of them's going to be Luris or one of them's going to be Orion. But
the thing with the companion is there is no rules text on the physical card itself that says this is how companion specifically works. It just says this is your companion. Like it's I forget what the exact wording is. It's
so you're saying they could essentially errata the ability, like what it means, without having to actually retcon anything on the physical cards?
Yes,
that's interesting.
Because it is not. There's here like with Obosh, I'm looking. Your starting deck contains only cards with converted mana cost, with odd converted mana cost and lane cards. This and then the rules text. This card is your chosen companion. You may cast it from outside the game. That's it. There's
it just says companion dash. Yeah.
Yes. they can openly errata anything they want, which I think almost they have to. Like at some point, you have to make the justification of either we ban these cards outright or we errata it, because they have open ability to errata it. It's going to be a pain in the butt for rules. Like it's not fun, it's not good, but they have to take responsibility for this.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, Jo in chat says I don't think they'd ever erotic companion. I think they might just ban them. I think they might just ban them.
Like, but if it ban it, that's 15 cards in a 15 cards in a set that just now are literally worthless.
Mm-hmm.
I agree
I'd
with you,
like
Jay.
to see them all banned. Yeah, what's up, Nothing Gold? Yeah, Danrith Magistrate not showing up in anyone's sideboard, but it's definitely interesting because that coming into the set before it was released was something I definitely.
That's the one white.
That's the white little guy.
That's the says you can't cast spells from outside the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the answer. Like that's just, it's not. Like, to play that card, you want to be playing a very specific deck, which Taxes, of course, would probably like to play that, but you don't want. I don't know. Like even the sideboard, like it's just not a creature that you want to be making big cuts for. Like, I just don't think that that's a great justification for it. That's just me.
So it says, Jo says there was 2 magistrates and humans. So
23rd.
23rd. Yeah, here it is in the sideboard. So yeah, I mean somebody's using it. I think that also the fact that humans did fairly well last week, if I remember correctly. So I think that humans could be on the uptick, and if that happens, then we might start seeing more Danrith.
I think it's figuring out what the best way to build around Kudro is. I think that's the challenge humans has right now. Like figuring out the right amount of 3 drops to 2 drops, and like figuring out because humans is all about figuring out like that most optimal play in line.
Yeah.
And I don't think people know how to do that yet with Kudro, because he absolutely should be in the deck. But where do you play it around like Mantis Riders? Where do you play it around, leaving up for Reflector Mages? Like there's a lot of intricate things that are still trying to be figured out. I think Kudro, like I think he beats the Jund decks because he makes sure dudes bigger than Jund can deal with, and a lot like being able to exile like all their things out of the graveyard. So when Lurrus does hit the battlefield, it negates his tomfoolery.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the problem right now is just that Lurrus is such a good card that like.
Have fun with Trash Planet, big green creatures.
Yeah. See you, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I think that Lurrus is just so good that like why try and play something, especially if you're playing, you're paying $20 or whatever to play in a tournament. Just play what's good. I mean, I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
I respect that. Like you have to respect it, but like the problem is I don't think Wizards is going to do anything this until we return to a paper Magic. I don't think we're going to see any big changes until paper becomes a thing.
Yeah, because currently it's super easy to track everything. You know who's what's where in terms of this is my But
companion. you also don't have the outcry from the paper community where you only have the online people playing, and let's be honest, like just moto players don't have that big of a voice in the like ban restricting and like anything like that. The results show, and then I think the paper players' voices should be heard.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I am like 70-30 on if I am convinced they will actually do anything about it. Just because like what if people are still playing, and I'm assuming that the numbers on Arena right now are insane just because that's where everyone's playing. Like what's the incentive? Are people going to strike? Like people just not going to play until this stuff gets, they take care of. They either errata it or ban these cards.
They're not going. I
don't think so.
The thing with Arena is like you can't really make the justification. Like I lost all this money like buying a deck. Like You spend wild cards,
Right.
and
I mean, that's Magic, first off.
but like what
And
do we?
if they ban something in Arena, they've proven that they give you the wild cards back for whatever was in your collection. So that's pretty sweet, honestly.
Oh yeah,
Like, yeah, it nukes your deck or whatever, but
you have a way to redeem it, but I mean, it still sucks. But at the same time, Arena's only accounting for like how much of the player base of like these competitive Magic.
yeah, these obviously we're looking at Magic Online
Tournaments,
challenges.
which are which to win these you got to be pretty good because there's a lot of players.
So I think that's true for pretty much every um, format other than Standard, just because Standard, the best players want to qualify for the things that are on Arena now. That kind of the paradigm shift whenever they started announcing that you could queue for PTs. All the good players started to play on Arena and stuff. So thank you, Meerkat, for that 10 bits. I do appreciate that. How are you doing tonight? Kind of a different setup. I don't know if you guys like this kind of style where I stream it live and do everything live. Obviously tonight had a little bit of a guest. My daughter came down and kind of was unhappy, but yeah, definitely past her bedtime. I should have put the gate up. But anyways, let me know. Hit me up on Twitter @LessAlex if you guys enjoy this kind of free flow, kind of interacting with people on Twitch. If you aren't yet followed on Twitch and aren't subbed to me on YouTube, make sure to do so. Yeah, Meerkat, we are discussing the Luris BS. It has been.
Oh, we talked a lot about the stupid cat.
It has been the discussion of the last 2 weeks, basically.
Hey, they put the correct typing in it. It's a nightmare.
It's definitely a nightmare. It was so funny because they trolled us because a couple weeks ago they went to errata it, and they're like changing Luris, and they errated it to take away the freaking dash in its name, the hyphen. It's Dream Den instead of Dream Den. So that's what that article was about. Yeah, I mean,
silly wizards, stop trying to be funny and make a good card game.
Yep. All right, everybody. I don't know about you, man, but this has been fun. I appreciate you coming on. As always, you're always welcome. I think I'm going to try and do more of these. If you guys like them, let me know. If you're in chat, let me know if you guys dig these kind of live streamed podcasts, because I enjoy them. I think interacting with everybody's pretty sweet. Skipping the legacy challenge.
We talked about it.
No, we talked about the vintage challenge.
Oh, we talked about. I didn't. Oh,
we can talk. Okay. Just for Jo, we're gonna talk about the legacy challenge. Was there even a legacy challenge?
Yeah, there's one. It's on the modern one.
Here it is.
I bet you it's Luris. I didn't even look, but I bet some Luris.
I see.
I was right.
I was going to say, I see Delver of Secrets and Nimble Mongoose. Nimble of Mongoose hasn't been a playable Magic card in Legacy for the longest time, so I'm assuming, and there is Luris.
There's Luris.
So, I mean, first place, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. I'm sorry.
Gristlepuff.
Mishra's Bobble.
What's the name? Oh, it's a Luris deck.
Gristlepuff in second with the same deck, basically.
It's a Luris deck.
Yep. In third place, oh wait, it's more Delver of Secrets. This time it's going to be Grixis Delver with Dreadhorde Arcanist and Luris the Dream.
Fifth place is a Zedra, the Dawnwaker.
Well, wait, we skipped over fourth, which is
it's a Luris deck, don't worry about it.
It's mono white though. So I mean,
I guess this is
Thalia.
Taxes. It's
Thalia,
taxes.
this is taxes. White weenies, yeah. No, that's pretty cool. I like white weenies. Then we have what is this? Oh, this is an Urza Lord High Artificer, Zedra.
So it's trying to go like off with Zedra.
Oh, that's actually pretty sweet.
And you know what the best part is? Who cares about your main board because you have Karn to search out for your the things you need, like the things you need in a sideboard to win. So it's like you're playing. Sure, like you're technically playing Snaring Bridge. You're technically playing all these like cards that doesn't work with Zedra, but with Karn it does.
Karn and Lattice. back at it. Then we have
6th is a teamer deck. It's a
four color. I mean,
4-color
Legacy before this was just like snow dot deck all day every day.
It's pernicious to lock that card.
Yeah, this is actually a deck. So here, 6th place, we have a deck that doesn't use a companion. It's just basically 4-color good stuff. We're playing Dak Faden's Oko. This is just Sylvan Library.
A bunch of expensive lands and then good cards. Like lands and good cards, which it's surprising that this deck is still seeing play with even without it running 6. Which I like.
Delver. So we have
seems very powerful.
Grixis Delver again in 7th place. And in 8th place, we have Blue-Red Delver. Interesting. Brazen Borrower. Snapcaster, true name. Young Peasy. That's why it's 6th.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's 6th and not 1st, right? All right, cool. J.O., there you go. But yeah, everybody, thank you all for watching. Do you have anything else to say?
Nope. Ban Luris.
Yeah. Do something with Companion. Please, please, please do something with Companion, Wizards. As always, thank you all for listening, watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to smash the hell out of that like and subscribe buttons. Ban Companion. Exactly. If you're in the market to buy Magic the Gathering cards, physical paper cards at this point in time, head on over to iggyspopshop.com. Use coupon code LessAlex to save 10% at checkout. It helps me out a bit. Obviously, you save some money, so that's always good. And again, shout out to my amazing patrons over at patreon.com. If you like the content and you have some money, I know, again, I understand times are tough and a lot of people are out of work right now. But if you enjoy it and you have the extra money, head on over to patreon.com/LessAlex and check out all the cool perks over there. Yeah, everybody, thank you, though. I do appreciate it. I'm not sure. I might stream a little bit more after I shut this down, but thanks, everyone. Have a great night and be kind to one another, Magic players. Wash your hands. Have a good day.
Night.